Hey everybody, Sean Holsinger here from holsinger-shop.com. Bringing another time video this week. This week it's a really easy one. It's a translucent caddis. It's a pattern that I've been fishing variations of for years. I like to fish caddises because there's a ton of them in my area. We got a lot of green ones, so that's why I'm tying it green this time. You could do this with like some amber D-rib too, and put the flash underneath it and it'll turn out nice too. But we got a lot of green ones in our area, so that's why I tie them green. Really simple pattern and a quick one that catches fish. So I'm gonna stop talking and get into tying here. Here you're gonna see a picture of it and then the material list to tie it. Okay, here you see the transparent caddis in the vise. Really cool, really simple little pattern. Easy to tie. So let's get into it. For a hook, we're using a Daiichi 1120. This is a size 12. Definitely tie it smaller. You can tie it all the way down to 18s. You're just going to have to switch some material around. For the bead on this 12, I'm using a 3.5, 3.0 would work too. Tungsten bead from Firehole in black. And for thread, I am using Semperfli Nano silk in black, in 12 watt. The next thing we're going to put on is some Holo tinsel. This is silver Holo tinsel. And you can change the color down here if you want, use a different one. You don't even have to use it. It just makes it a little bit flashier. I'm going to tie it in on top, and then I'm going to tie this back slightly around the bend of the hook there. And then bring my thread back up about an eye length behind the bead. And at that point, we're going to tie in our vinyl rib, and this is Chartreuse. And we're going to tie it in there, like I said, about one hook eye behind the bead. And I'm going to tie it down, get it where I want it, and then I'm going to pull tight on this and pull it back towards the bend. And just wrap it down, nice tight wraps, get it locked in place. And then cover all up with thread. Okay, now I'm going to pull my D-rib back out of the way, and I'm going to wrap this Holo tinsel on. And we're just going to make nice side-by-side wraps. If you want, you could put a little dab of super glue on there, definitely not required. But it'll keep it from riding around. And just wrap that up, make nice even wraps, get it all covered. And then tie that off. Okay, now for the D-rib, I have a rotary vise, so I like to use it. So I'm just going to half hitch real quick here. And bring my holder up so I can use my rotary vise. And I'm just going to take the D-rib and start wrapping it around. Making nice side-by-side wraps, and you can see that silver Holo tinsel just shining through there real nice. And once I get up there behind that bead, we're going to tie it off. And I'm just going to make 2 or 3 wraps, get that tied off, and then trim it. And then I like to make sure I get that tied down and in place there. So the next thing we're going to put on is some micro UV polar chenille. This is the small stuff, and this is going to give the legs on this caddis. So we're just going to tie it in right behind the bead and make a little collar out of this. I'm going to make about close to 5 wraps. And as I do it, I'm just going to try to push these fibers back. Make sure I try not to trap many of them. And like I said, make about 5 wraps just to make sure I get enough of those legs on there. And that will work there. That gives me that nice black head and collar that the caddis has. And you get a nice translucent body there. So I like this pattern a lot. This one fits into my wheelhouse. Nice heavy bead. A little bit of flash to it. And a little bit of bugginess with that polar chenille. So just make like 2 nice whip finishes behind the bead, and you're all done. Okay guys, I hope you like that nice simple pattern. Very easy to tie, and it catches fish. You know, if you're a Euro nympher like me, it's got that, it checks off all the boxes for a Euro nymph. It's thin, not a lot of appendages, nothing that's going to hamper its descent to the bottom. It's going to get you down with that nice tungsten bead on there. So play around, use different colored beads, use different colored D-rib on it, use different colored flash underneath it, holo tinsel underneath it, or no holo tinsel. Change your thread color underneath. You can have a lot of different variations of color schemes with this fly, but just by changing what you put underneath the D-rib. So have fun tying, find out what works best in your area. And if you need any of the materials to tie it, like always guys, please head on over to our website at holsingersflyshop.com. So next week when I bring you another video, I'm Sean Holsinger.